What is going on, everybody? This is the Undefeated by Choice podcast, and I am your host, Matt, the Gadari Oyler. The premise of the show is to bring on athletes or anybody involved in fitness to help bring you motivation, inspiration, and good tips to be the best you. Before we get into anything, I need to thank Foley's MMA. Check them out online. Check out their class schedule. Come feel the vibe of this place. It's awesome. I'm going to thank them for opening their doors to us and giving us a home. We also want to thank myteamtrainer.com, the best speed and agility drills you're going to get for only $5 a month. Also, go check out store.undefeatedbychoice. We're not Louis Vuitton, but we are undefeated in comfort. So go check it out. Without any further ado, let's get to the show. What's up, Nick?
Yo.
Another episode of the Undefeated by Choice podcast.
In our new amazing home.
And our
it
new home.
Smells so good here.
You know, when we actually move into our next little area.
Yes.
When
my God.
We're putting together.
Be ready for next week.
If you've been following me on Instagram, you should be. I am the Gadari, T-H-E-G-U-D-R, Gadari.
You forgot how to spell
G-U-D-A-R-I. G-U-D-A-R-I, the Gadari. You've been seeing that I've been out shopping at IKEA and buying all sorts of new stuff for our new facility.
We love IKEA.
I love IKEA. Actually, yeah, I do. I do love IKEA. And you know, we've been buying stuff for the new space because they've given us a whole.
I know we have our own area.
A whole area to do.
We are so legit now.
But when you talk about smelling good, I was thinking about for the interview having a little Scentsy candle, not a Scentsy candle, a little what's the drops?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. One of them, yeah.
What is it called?
I have no idea.
I want to say it because I want them to just give us free stuff.
Yeah, well.
But I want to do the lavender.
The lavender oil droppy thing.
Yeah. And then just because the lavender calms you down, and our guests kind of get worked up, and they're kind of like nervous.
Well, yeah, because they work out with you guys for an hour.
And also just because there are cameras on people, and not everybody is as narcissistic as I am, and just like put a camera on you 24/7. Can you just follow me with a camera?
I know. I know.
That's just kind of. Anyways, let's get into what's important.
Yeah.
MPR.
Matt pays respect.
That's right, baby. People might not know this because I get often told that I eat like a bird, that I don't eat a lot. And I don't eat a lot. I eat one meal every other day. Yeah. That's my diet, but...
Like one big meal or just like one meal?
It's kind of a big... It's just I eat a lot of meat and I consider it a meal. So I'll eat a lot of meat for one meal. Yes. Yeah. Just bacon.
Just call it the Ron Swanson diet.
The Ron Swanson diet. But he would do that. He does that 3 meals a day.
That's true.
3 meals a day, all meat. Yeah. But no, it's I eat 1 meal a day. So during the week, it's just chicken basically. Yeah. And then during the day, I allow myself to eat fruit. Okay. So, but I don't consider it a meal. I'll just have like an apple. Yeah. I usually end up I don't know. I'm not going to explain my diet to you. I'm going to explain my diet to you.
You don't.
But on the weekend, I treat myself. When I treat myself, you got Ron Swanson again. Throwback to Parks and Rec. Throwback to Parks and Rec. Let's just throw back to Parks and Rec.
Treat yourself
one of the greatest shows. Treat myself on the weekends. I want to pay respect to 2 of the greatest restaurants in Salt Lake City.
Oh, okay. That's good because I like to visit different restaurants. Like I like going to new ones that I've never gone to before because a lot of times when my friends are like, what are we going to eat? Everyone always tries to go to the same places they've always gone to. Yeah. Like, let's go somewhere different.
And they're like, let's go to Olive Garden. And I'm like, you're not friends with me anymore. I'm sorry. We won't get a sponsorship from Olive Garden ever.
No, I don't care. Because here's the thing. Did you hear about Olive Garden?
No.
They have hepatitis in their stuff. I'm not even kidding. Like, there's a report.
Wait, hold on. No. Okay, fact check.
Fact check me.
Fact check that because I don't want you.
No.
It's spreading rumors.
It's not a rumor. I heard it on the news myself. Not like CNN or anything like that. It was like real news, like local stuff.
Okay. Not fake news?
No, not fake news. Not hashtag fake news. Yeah. Hashtag real news. No, but anyway, I like finding new places. Like there's some great restaurants that you don't even know.
Okay, well this place you know.
Okay.
This place, first place I'm going to mention, because I am literally taking you there as soon as we get done.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I go here every Wednesday, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday?
Yeah. Well, not every. I try to.
So when we walk in there, you're like, hey, Nick, and that other guy?
They better.
Okay. All right.
They better I'm never coming back.
Okay. Lucky 13.
Yes. Lucky 13. Yeah, no, they are great. The reason I go every Wednesday is because they do that pub quiz.
Okay.
Dude, it's so much fun.
Okay, so Lucky 13, for those of you who don't know,
Yep.
Is the greatest hamburger you will ever have in your entire life.
Yep.
And I'm not
Guy
just
Fieri approved.
I'm not just saying, like, they've literally won a competition for greatest hamburger in the world. 2 years in a row. At the Las Vegas World Food Competition.
Yeah.
Like, not just like the Utah. No, the Las Vegas World Food Competition.
Yep.
They've won best hamburger in the world 2 years in a row.
And you know what I love about them the most is that they always are adding new burgers.
Yeah.
And it's what is it, like the burger of the week
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. They're always trying to up themselves.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, and I walked in one day. It said like kangaroo and
Yeah. They have elk meat, and
crazy.
they have different types of meat. So but it's just, I mean, it is so good. I can't.
If that's your cheat day meal, then definitely Lucky 13's the way.
And
to
their
go.
rosemary garlic fries,
Dude.
just the regular garlic fries, then you make them rosemary garlic fries, dude. Oh, I'm going to.
Those are the best to
destroy.
have on a first date, though. Like, for sure.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Because if you
You're
if you can make out with a girl with rosemary, if a girl has rosemary garlic breath, I'll make out with her in a heartbeat. I don't care what she looks like.
That's how you tell the difference
If
between
I
men
could-
and women.
yes.
We're like, dude, her breath could smell like stank booty.
No.
And we would
No,
she has rosemary
no,
garlic.
no. If her breath, no matter what she looks like, if her breath smells like rosemary garlic breath, we're making out.
Done.
We're making out. Bottom line, ladies, you want to get to me? Come at me with that breath.
Rosemary garlic.
But it has to come from Lucky 13.
Yeah.
If it's some other fancy
And
restaurant,
we can tell the difference.
I can tell the difference.
We can definitely tell the difference.
That place is insane.
Yeah.
Second place.
Yeah.
You might not know about this, but maybe you do, because a few people do.
Okay.
Cecilia's.
I don't know about
Cecilia's Pizzeria in downtown Salt Lake.
that. Okay.
Oh. So I've really only had her pizza after 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
So,
as
the only time you have
Pizza
should
and
have.
Denny's is the only thing
So-
you should eat after 2 in the morning.
So their pizza is delicious. Thin crust. It's not a thick crust. So
Yeah.
I don't know what you like, but
Whatever,
but
try
it's a
anything.
thin crust. It's delicious.
Yeah.
But the secret that no one knows about,
Yeah.
people know about it.
You guys are about to find out.
To tell you the secret of Cecilia's, their wings.
Ooh, like chicken wings?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Their
Dude.
wings are insane.
Chicken wings are my favorite food.
And so you order them, and you're like, oh, I'm going to get 8 wings. Or you're like, oh, I'm starving. I'm going to get 16 wings. They give you the full wing. So when you order 8 of them, you're getting getting 16 wings.
It's not like little drumstick.
No, it's not drumstick and then the wing. You get
thing.
the entire wing. So when you order 8 of them, you're actually getting 16.
Yeah, like you've chopped up 4 birds.
Yeah, and they're not little birds. These are eagles.
These are like full grown.
These are condors. Yeah. These are condors wings. They are gigantic, and their flavor is insane.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Cecilia's. I was there last night. I had a slice of pizza last night, and it was heaven. Yeah. So Matt pays respect to some good food places in Salt Lake City. Lucky 13 and Cecilia's. Go check them out. Like,
boom,
legit. Yeah. Nick, where we at on our water sponsor? You haven't reached out to anybody, don't lie.
Nope.
Don't lie to me. You haven't reached out to anybody.
I haven't reached out to anybody.
You haven't reached out to anybody about water.
I mean, because here's the thing. Water is water. It's the essence of wetness.
It is the essence of wetness.
And if there's a water sponsor out there that would like to be involved with the amazing web series / podcast Undefeated by Choice.
What am I going to take my Alpha Brain with?
Water.
Water that I paid for?
Well, yeah.
Or free water?
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter what you take it with. You need to take Alpha Brain. So, real quick, side note, even though you said that, if you want to sponsor us with water, awesome. But you all need to get Alpha Brain. You've got me hooked on that stuff.
Yeah.
I started taking it last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found the end of pi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
You found it? You found it?
I got to the end of it. Like, yeah, I solved world hunger. I'm not telling anybody.
We were sitting there talking about it. Why don't you tell anybody?
Well,
you will when you find a way to make money.
When I'm ready. Maybe.
When you find a way to make money. You're such a capitalist. Jay, who did the workout here today, he was like, "What is that stuff? What is that stuff? Let me see. Can I take some?" And then he's sitting there with his phone. He's looking it up, and he's like, "Can I have some?" So I gave him some free Alpha Brain pills. So Alpha Brain, you need to send me some because I just gave away product for free.
He keeps giving it away.
I
bought some.
I'm doing.
I wanted to try.
I'm just trying to get you
and
guys, trying to get your name out there. It's not. It's not. For a neurotropic, it's not.
That's what I'm saying. Like, for what it does, it's not that expensive.
Like you're going to take it, and then you're going to be smarter, and you're going to make more money. Exactly. Like on the movie Limitless.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be able to be able to afford it.
If you want to know what Limitless was based off of, it was based off the director taking Alpha Brain. And
he took it, and he's like,
I am limitless. And then his buddy went, "That's a great idea for a movie."
No, we're being funny. We're being funny right now.
No, but honestly,
I take it before every podcast because I know that I'm gonna have to focus and pay attention, and my mind can't be wandering while I'm talking to my guests.
Yeah.
And this is what makes me focus. I know if I'm going in to do something where I need to focus, I know I take it every day. Going into work because I know I should pay attention. I should pay attention going to work. But when I really have to focus and when I really know something I have to pay attention to, I take it because it just helps takes out that fog or it just helps mental clarity. Yeah. And so it's just something like you can take it every day or just take it when you know it's funny, like you're gonna need to focus.
That stuff I feel wakes me up and gets my brain moving like a lot faster than like coffee and Red Bull. If you know me, you know I drink Red Bull like it's freaking water. Like Red Bull is amazing, but I take that in the morning and I don't need Red Bull. You know, and
that's good that it does that because it's caffeine free. Yeah. So it's good because now you're actually because the caffeine you're just speeding up.
Yeah, you speed up and then you're like.
But this is actually just like you're getting that energy because your brain is actually like, oh, I'm working.
Exactly.
I'm actually functioning properly. Yeah. So water sponsor, hook it up because I need something to take my alpha brain. Yeah. So anyways, all right. Well. I think that's it for MPM.
We've got Dave on the episode, don't we?
Yes.
Oh, man. This episode coming up is going to be so good.
So we're bringing Dave in. I know he's going to have stories for days. He is the owner of Foley's MMA, which we originally were doing our show out of there. He opened his doors to us. I'll let him we'll explain how we ended up here now and why we're here now at Athletic Republic, our new home, teaming up, partnering up. Going to do some good work with them. Got some awesome things coming down the line. So
I'm stoked.
Everybody, let's get to the episode. All right, everyone, we are here with the legend, the pioneer of Utah MMA, Dave Foley.
Greetings.
I'm so happy to have you out here because people have been kind of upset with me that I've been filming out here now because I originally was filming at your spot. And they think that I burned a bridge with you. They think that I think I hurt your feelings. So I wanted to bring you out here to set everybody straight.
No bridges burned.
I wanted to talk about it because I needed to jump into this and thank you for always opening your door to me. I've known you for years now. I mean, it's probably been 4 or 5 years.
Sure.
And you've always. I've been in and out of your gym, and you've always opened your gym to me. You've always worked with me on things. Like I've done, I don't know how many classes I've taught at your gym, and that you haven't, you didn't charge me for months of training or whatever to show up and just whatever on a trade or whatever. And then when I had this idea to do this podcast. Even though your gym is very specific to MMA and what I wanted to do was very broad to all sports, speed and agility for all sports, you were the first person that was like, dude, you can have this room. You gave me an entire room to myself and let me just kind of go in there and play and do my thing. So when we decided to come out here and partner with Athletic Republic, I was starting to come out here and do the filming out here, and I was just like. I was like, I gotta have Dave on the show because I need to personally thank him for always opening his door to us, always allowing us to do our thing, and always just being a good dude to me. So, brother, I love you, man. So yeah, this is Dave. We had one of his fighters come out here and do a training session with Devin. And why don't you tell us about the fighter you sent out? Kind of his credentials, what he's up to.
Well, Jay Wright walked in my gym a couple years back telling me he wants to start a career in boxing. And I was like, man, how old are you? How many fights have you had? Because I could tell he's older than he's not a kid. So I said, how many fights you had? He said, I haven't had any fights. I said, what do you you're kind of out of your mind. And he's like, yeah, don't worry about that. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had him come in I think that night and spar with Xander Caffel, a kid that I've been coaching since he was like 6.
Yeah.
He's now 17 years old, but at the time he was about 15. And he's had 50 fights, and he's a really good fighter.
Yeah.
And
so you're gonna put Jay to the test right away.
So I actually it was a head game with both of them, because Xander didn't know who Jay is. Jay's older. He looks tough.
Yeah.
He's older than Xander. And Xander didn't know anything about Jay.
Yeah.
But Jay was very, just way out. Xander 50 fights, so Jay's gonna be outmatched, unprepared for this. But he had the attitude that he didn't care who this kid was. He's got 50 fights.
We're gonna go in.
He's 15.
Yeah.
He's not gonna beat me. He's not gonna make me. And I was like, dang, this guy's tough. So I started training Jay, and he started fighting, and he's in the short time he's been fighting, he's every single person in the amateur boxing in the state of Utah is pretty much a fan of Jay. Even the guys he's fought, like there's a kid named Diego Alvarez. He's the first kid from Utah to win the Golden Glove National Tournament in 25 years. He won that tournament here against all the best kids in the country. Yeah. And he won the Golden Boy Award that year, which is kind of prestigious.
Yeah, for sure.
And no one wants to fight Diego. We can't find Diego fights. So Jay fought some guys that had no fights, and he ran through them. Yeah. And then he wanted to get tested, so we lined him up against another kid that had about 45 fights, and he lost a very close decision. And so we learned a lot from that fight. So he's like, I'll fight whoever. So the opportunity came up to fight Diego, and I called him. I was like, do you want to really test yourself? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And so now he's fought Diego 3 times, and he's lost to him 3 times, but he's been reeling him in, man. The last time they fought, he came out and dropped Diego, knocked him on his butt in the first round, and dominated the first round.
Was it with his left? Because he was bragging about his left.
No.
Oh, he hit him with something else, huh? He's okay. He's holding on to that left. Well, he busted out. No.
So, but he did land in that fight the perfect left hand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should.
He's excited about it. He's dreaming about
that. The great thing is with the iPhone is if you get it on film, you can just rewind. And so I've shown people the perfect left hand a number of times. Yeah. But yeah, so that's Jay. He's really stepped up, and he's got some goals. Just one at a time. He goes state tournament, regional tournament, national tournament, Olympics, the pros, and then the world.
That's it, to take over the world. Well, so we had him come out here, and he worked with Devin. And actually, if he wants to come in here, we'll let him talk about his workout that he had with Devin real quick. Cool. So you worked out with Devin, my boy, trainer out here at Athletic Republic. Why don't you talk about it? What did he have you do? What was the feeling you got from it?
Thanks, Matt. So came out here to Athletic Republic, worked out with Devin. Man, it was a really great workout. Like I've gone through a lot of conditioning. I've played college ball and everything, and the things that he took me through. I think the best thing is you come in and you stretch, you warm up, you go through some static stretches and then some dynamic stretches. Yeah. Where you can really stretch out the leg muscles to get ready for all the plyos that you do. And then, we did some ladder work after that, which was good because it brought me back to my football days. So that was cool, And,
you were flying through it. I was like, this ain't his first time on ladder.
No.
This ain't his first time.
A couple rodeos.
Yeah.
But it was a really good warm up, and I felt I had a good sweat, so I felt like I was ready to do whatever workout came after that. And then we went to the floor with the pattern workouts, and that was new to me. Just doing it, I first saw those workouts, where you have the jump bands. When one of my best friends in college tore his ACL, and he used that for recovery for that, and that was like in 2006, 2007, And so that's when I had first saw that type of work, and I had never used it in college because it wasn't big. But now I know like a lot of people are using it for conditioning.
It's huge.
And just the patterns that you use and the way that Devin took me through it, you can really see the difference in the foot movement, and he made sure that he keys on, your developmental keys of, making sure you keep your head up, and then using, your feeling and, using the mirror to really move through and go over the lines and hit the patterns and stuff. And so that was really good, and I really plan to incorporate that into my workouts.
That's awesome.
That's definitely good for footwork.
Now, when I heard you say that, I heard you say, "Man, I need to start doing this stuff." That's what I've been telling. I've been preaching that to every sport. When people don't cross train, like there's just too much information. There's too many exercises. There's just too much to stay isolated within one sport. Yeah. Especially with boxing, your movements are all pretty. They're all what's the word I'm looking for? They're all pretty similar. The dance moves, it's the same dance move. You're doing the same dance the whole time. It's not like you're sprinting at one point and then you're side shuffling at another point and you're doing this at another point. It's all pretty one fluid movement. So a lot of fighters, boxers, or even MMA fighters don't think that, I need to come out and learn the speed and agility. I'll just get it by moving around in the ring or in the cage. But no, you coming out here, learning this type of stuff, learning how to move your body, learning how it's crucial. And anybody who wants to take it to the next level, they have to do it.
Yeah, for
sure.
They
have to.
I agree. I was just telling, after my last fight, I just fought at the Clearfield Aquatic Center at their little first annual fight, and I won the fight. And then after the fight, I went back and watched the film. And I went to Vegas with some of my boys and had a really good time. But while I was there, I was breaking it down, and I sent Dave a text message, and I said, man, when I get back, I need to work on two things. I need to work on my pressure in and out of the ropes when I'm attacking and then retreating, because I felt like I get too close. And I said, I got to sprint more. I need to do more cross training. I have to do that. And then he told me, he was like, hey, man, we got this podcast set up. We're going to go off the talk, so you're going to go down to Lehi and do this workout. And I was like, okay, cool. Whatever. I work out all the time.
Yeah.
And when I came out, and then Devin, after that platform workout, we went to do the treadmill workout, and oh man, that was it. Yeah. That was. That sold you. That sold me. After that, I said, I need this. I need this, because we got on the treadmill, and he showed me you can incline up to 40 degrees, you can kick it up to 28 miles an hour, and the way that you go through it, it feels safe. It doesn't feel like you're gonna fall off the thing, and the type of workouts that he has you go through, I could really feel how I felt in my fights when I get to those later rounds, and I start to feel like not like I'm losing my gas. It's just I'm not used to it, and I don't have the training to push me through to those rounds. And I think that'll do it. Yeah. Like I definitely think that'll bridge that gap. So I'm sold. I think Athletic Republic, I think this is a really good alternative workout system for any athlete in any sport needing that extra agility and explosiveness. It's definitely lucrative. I really enjoyed it, and I'm gonna do it for sure. You're tugging on my heartstrings right now, because this is what I've been trying to preach to everybody, and with what this podcast, with me and Nick or whatever, what we're teaming up with Athletic Republic, what we plan on doing with them, we're going to take over. But getting people into the facility, getting guys out here, that's honestly, there's no substitute for it. That is what takes you to the next level. So, dude, I'm glad that you're going to come out here. I'm excited to see what you're about to do. I mean, what you already have done coming into it, and what Dave was telling, all your accomplishments. Now, after you start getting this in, I'm excited to see what's going on. So, dude, thank you. We're gonna get Dave back in here, but I appreciate you coming out, doing the workout with us. Yeah. All right, man. Yeah. The legend. I mean, the whole reason this podcast was, I didn't want to work today. I just want to hear your stories, and so that's why I'm bringing you in here. I mean, you've been a pioneer in Utah MMA. You're one of the pioneers, one of the first. And you know this.
I don't know if that's an insult.
What, dude? You've been around. You're not that much older than me. You don't look that much older than me. You look young. For someone who's been in it as long as you have, you look good, man.
Well, it is. I get a pretty young sport still. It's crazy to see how how it's grown.
But I want you to explain how it started. How did you your first fight? How did that even come about?
So before I actually took my first fight, I started training in about 93, 94 when I was 14 years old doing Kung Fu with the guy. And my old Sifu, Kim Garcia, and he actually boxed in the Navy. So even though we did Kung Fu and we wore Kung Fu outfits and stuff.
I love that story.
Yeah, man. So I entered karate tournaments, did point fighting, did forms and weapons and all that stuff. And so I wanted to do some full contact. When I was about almost 16, I was just, not quite 16, I started boxing at Martial Arts Center. I went to the Martial Arts Center, and I'd been doing martial arts, Kung Fu with Kim for a couple years. But when I went in and boxed, I got my face punched in by somebody named Lee Doss. He's another guy. He grew up around here boxing, and he had some MMA fights. He's fought everybody. I'm sure he's fought Court McGee, Jorge Lopez. So Lee Doss at the time, he's a little bit older than me, and so I was like, man, I got to start boxing. And so when I was 19 years old, I was driving a truck for Pepsi, and I was actually at the Red Dragon Karate School, which was behind the Newgate Mall.
Okay.
And
is that Maury's Academy now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's where Maury Academy is. Exactly. Right. So there's a guy named Ron Bennett that ran that gym. It was a karate school.
I actually worked with Ron Bennett.
Yeah. So I went in there and I was like, I just taught. I went to, so when I started doing Kung Fu, I read the Tao of Jeet Kune Do by Bruce Lee. And so I've always stuck with his theory. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about styles. It's you should learn anything that's good for you to learn to build.
I love that.
What's going to work for you is going to work for me.
That's right.
So I trained it with a bunch of different gyms. I trained with this woman named Mrs. O, Myung Ho, out in the Clearfield area, and I did I learned whatever I could. So I stopped into Ron Bennett's gym, and there was a guy named Rich Layton there, who I had actually met a couple months before at Pedro Sauer's gym in Salt Lake. I had gone down to Pedro's gym once, and I had met him, and then because I just was checking out new gyms, and
Pedro's a jiu-jitsu legend.
Yeah, he's a jiu-jitsu legend.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you more about Pedro,
okay.
but at the time I didn't really know Pedro, but I met Rich, saw him at this karate school, and so before. Next thing you know, me and this guy had arranged to get together and train that afternoon.
Yeah.
So I get off work. A couple hours after I saw him at the karate school, I'm at his house, and we're in his garage, and we're kickboxing. And then we grappled.
Yeah.
And this guy just tied me up in a knot, and I couldn't believe, you know what I'm saying? I had seen the UFC, so when I trained with Kim Garcia in 1994, about 6 months after I started training with him or whatever, there was the first UFC.
Yeah.
I saw it. We all saw it.
Yeah.
We all saw Hoist Gracie come out in his freaking gi, 180 pounds or whatever, and we saw him do his thing, man.
Yeah.
And everybody, the whole world was stunned, man.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everybody was doing chokeholds terribly. I never actually been trained, so.
Yeah.
So, but we had been doing, we tried to do arm bars, we tried to do all this stuff, but at the time I actually went to Rich Layton's house, I kickboxed with him. When we grappled, he just tooled me. So I started training at his gym, and that ended up turning into the Ogden Fighting Alliance. And his gym was just at a little gymnasium, and there was some people training there, and it was more like a little club. If you couldn't make it down to Pedro's, there's a place to train up here.
Okay.
And Rich wasn't even I don't know if had a blue belt or what, but he wasn't claiming to be a great teacher or anything. He was just teaching his thing, and so I went to that gym, and I got submitted by little dorky, Chris, this dude Chris Jaramillo and Jason Jones, my boy Jason Jones, who I'm great friends with to this day. He's a great jiu-jitsu guy, but if you saw this guy, it's just. And back then it wasn't as common, So I was I couldn't believe these guys.
Yeah.
So I just started training, and I'd been training there for about 6 months when Rob Handley, who runs one of the best gyms in the state of Utah, who trains, Court McGee, he trains.
Okay.
He's cornered a handful of guys in the UFC.
Yeah.
So Rob Hanley walked in and he says, "Oh yeah, I had tickets to go this day to go to the Extreme Challenge."
Okay.
Which is a Monty Cox show, which Monty Cox promotes shows that, world champions. He manages world champions. I don't know how many world champions he's managed into the UFC, but a lot of them. So it's a Monty Cox show.
Got the credentials.
So I had, but really at the time it wasn't what it is now. But I had tickets to go see the fights.
Yeah.
So Rob Hanley walks into our gym. He's looking for somebody to fight about my size. So me and Jason Jones flipped a coin because we both wanted to take the fight.
Yeah.
We're both scared. It was like real.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, at the time, there wasn't anyone around that I knew that had an MMA fight under their belt. There were a handful of guys in the state that I knew and I knew of. So I ended up taking the fight. And so next thing I know, I'm like, I call my wife. I'm like, oh, I'm going to fight on this show tonight.
Yeah. Oh, it was that night.
Yeah, it was that night. It was in like 5 hours. You're going to be at the place in 5 hours.
You're insane.
Yeah, and so the main event on this show was Dan the Beast Severn.
Oh, yes.
And there was a tournament format on the undercard. And I just fought on the preliminary, like an undercard. I fought this kid, and I ended up guillotining, choking him out in like under a minute. And I was hooked.
Yeah.
That was it, man. It was all she wrote. I mean, it was...
Did you have the ponytail at this point?
Oh yeah, I had the ponytail.
Love that thing.
I love the ponytail.
I love that.
I wore some spandex. I came out to some Pantera, my walkout song, and I was just like, I was 19.
Was this pre-Pride Dan Severn days?
Yeah, this is pre-Pride.
Okay.
And so Dan Severn had been in the UFC, so I knew it was.
Yeah.
I remember I was in the back of the locker room warming up, and I accidentally hit Brian Beebe, the guy who was cornering me. And Dan Severn was like asleep, like he was back there basically trying to sleep, his head laying down on the desk.
Yeah.
He kind of looked up at us and laughed, and then right before he was ready to fight, he got up and he just started slapping himself in the body, in the face, and like he didn't even hardly warm up, and he went out and fought. That was his thing. He was about to sleep 20 minutes before he's gonna fight. Yeah, it was crazy. The undercard or the tournament format, the guy that won the tournament was a guy named Sean Shirk.
Oh yeah.
And he ended up beating a guy who we had known named Steve Gaume, who's kind of he had, like I said, when I took this fight, I didn't know anyone who had any fights. Well, he's one of the guys that had a handful of fights at that time, and so. He's anyone who really knows jiu-jitsu in the state of Utah. I think they kind of know, Steve Gaume, and so from there I was just like hooked, and there wasn't opportunities to fight in MMA, so I continued to box as an amateur. I got paid for that fight, and I still fought as an amateur. And I did kickboxing matches, Thai boxing matches, and there wasn't really a way to track what you were doing like there is now. So it was all just considered different. It wasn't like I was being shady or anything. I did MMA and martial arts. It was different. Yeah. And so.
Well, I imagine most of it was unsanctioned, right?
Yeah,
a lot of it was unsanctioned.
So my next couple fights, so the very next fight I had was, I had heard about this like bare knuckle fights they were supposed to be having up in Mountain Green, and I had like recruited some of my friends were going to go up there, and I was supposed to fight. Yeah. So that day, the people that had like organized the fight, they told me that it's going to rain, they're getting rained out, it's not going to go through. So I told them, I have a gym that we can do it at, right? And by this point, Rich Layton had moved to this building on 23rd and Washington Boulevard. Okay. And there was a furniture store downstairs. The building was owned by my boy Tonus Kruger, and Rich Layton had his gym on the middle level. It was an awesome gym, the Ogden Fighting Alliance. which started pretty much Court McGee, Jorge Lopez, Steven Seiler, Mark Johnson, who runs Westside Jiu-Jitsu, myself.
You got respect with the shirt on right
Yeah,
now, the Westside shirt? No. So, I mean, really anybody who's a name in Utah started. They started.
And so within a few hours, we have changed the plans. Now we're doing it at the gym. So I thought they were going to bring a whole gang of people. So I pretty much recruited everybody I know, and we get there and we have these fights, and really they brought like 2 people to fight that were ready to fight.
Yeah.
So I fought one of them, this dude that went by the name of Seven.
His name was Seven?
Seven, yeah. So I got these fights all on video. They were taped.
Yeah.
And so I have this hard hits tape from back in the day that was actually a VHS tape. And I have a real street fight on it. And back then, there wasn't YouTube, so having a street fight on film was kind of cool. It was kind of a novelty.
Yeah.
And
you thought about uploading it to YouTube?
Oh, I should.
Yeah.
I will. I'll do it. I'll do it after this. The hard hits tape, man. It's off the hook.
You need to.
It's got unsanctioned fights. It's got a dude fighting in a gi. It's got me kicking this dude in the face with a shoe in an MMA mat. Dude named Jake Hatton. So Pedro cornered me for that fight.
Uh-huh.
That fight. So let me try and stay on track. So we end up having these fights at Rich Lane's in Volume Fighting Alliance.
Uh-huh.
And it was a huge success. But we basically talked people into fighting that night.
Yeah.
People I know, friends that weren't training, they fought each other and stuff like that. So that, we decided, all right, we're going to do it again. So I think we had 4 or 5 fights there. Anthony Lobato, who's runs a local gym, he fought there.
He's out at One Hit, right?
No, he runs his own.
Yeah.
And so,
I apologize.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, Matt. Aldo and Lobato, they don't like each other.
Oh, so I really overstepped the bound by saying that, didn't I?
They just don't like each other. They're always arguing over who's better looking.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So I had some fights there. We did numerous shows there, and a couple of those shows, Lonnie Foster refereed. Lonnie Foster, that's a big name in Utah MMA. A huge pioneer in Utah MMA. Mike Stedham and Jennifer Howe were also there as judges and guests. They were people who had been, Jennifer Howe was fighting. She was had fights under her belt back then before,
That's
she was
women's MMA. That's even more.
And so so it probably wasn't within a year after that, Mike Stedham started promoting his own shows. It was the Ultimate Combat Experience. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure I showed you my cup. I think it was 2002.
Yeah, you showed me.
So in 2002, I fought in the Ultimate Combat Experience. It was the very first Ultimate Combat Experience. Frank Shamrock fought on that card. It was like some weird rigged fight where he fought Crazy Bob Cook, and I think they trained together.
Uh-huh.
Ray Perales fought on that card. My old coach Danny Sanchez fought on that card. I fought this dude named Jake Hatton from Colorado, and he is a tough ass dude. And so anyways, come out there, I'm wearing shoes. Pedro Sowers cornered me. Pedro, Rich Layton, and my boy Jerome from Isaacson. And I ended up, back then you couldn't get video. You didn't know anything about these guys you were going to fight.
Yeah.
So I would come out and from a mile away, I'd act like I was going to throw a punch, and they would, I would just try to see if they're going to slip or if they're going to shoot, what their reaction is going to be. And I wasn't going to even try to hit him. And so anyways, I'm a mile away and I act like I'm going to hit, and he straight up snickers at me.
This
fool. That?
Yeah. You would come out with that?
So, bam, I step in with the left, catch him. And that's what got him, man. I pretty much knocked him down the left. And as he's going down, I hit him with the right. And then when he hits the ground, bam, I'm already soccer kicking him in the face. Lonnie Foster was refereeing that fight, man. And he comes running in and breaks it up, and because I wasn't supposed to kick him in the face. And I had this in slow motion. I kind of pulled the kick, bam, last minute. So it was just a reaction. So anyway, so I ended up winning that fight, and I was 5-0, and I took a fight for Sven Bean in a show called The Ultimate Athlete. And back then, The Ultimate Athlete was, I think, the biggest show Denver had seen, even though the UFC had been there.
Oh, really?
So The Ultimate Athlete was trying to go head-to-head with UFC back then.
Mm-hmm.
And they had some, Amanda Buckner fought on their car. She's still fighting. She's a legend female fighter. Anyways, so I went up and fought. I was 25, and I was 100% certain I was going to win. I just never been injured, and I got heel hooked and tore my ACL.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was just, I was fighting out of the hook. All of a sudden, my ACL pops. And I just made like a noise, and the dude that's going to the referee's looking like, what happened? And that was it.
Yeah.
And I actually walked myself out of the ring. It was weird because my ACL was completely torn, but I was able to walk out of the ring. Like, I don't know I went to the doctor that next week, and he told me it's torn, and I was like, you're crazy.
I've been walking on it.
I healed it.
Yeah.
I rehabbed it kind of myself, and in a couple weeks I started running well. And about a month I was sparring, and I just kind of sidestepped, and my knee just dislocated. It did that twice, and I realized I had to get ACL done. So once I did that, I really focused on amateur boxing.
Okay.
Once my ACL healed up, my next fight was amateur boxing. So I ended up entering the state tournament a bunch of times. I won the state tournament 5 times.
Yeah.
4 of those times I went into the regional tournament, and 2 of those times I won the regional tournament. So those 2 times I was able to go to the nationals. And so those were really huge, great experiences in my life. And when I went to the nationals, I think in 2002, it was in Reno. The guy that won it in my weight division, his name was Andre Berto. And Andre Berto's
that's a known name.
Yeah, he's the last guy that fought Floyd Mayweather before McGregor.
Let's not talk about that.
He's the last boxer that fought Mayweather. And then the guy that won the weight division above me was Andre Ward.
Another well-known name. Yeah.
So I got offered a fight with Andre Ward right after I turned pro, which I didn't take, which I regret. A guy I know named Ben Aragon ended up taking that fight.
You regret it because you just wanted to test yourself against him, or you think you would have beat him, or
no? I
what's
would
the
have
regret?
lost. I would have gotten
What's the regret?
But then I could have said for the rest of my life,
you fought already. Okay.
And I was actually reading this book. There's a book. I think he's an ESPN writer. These books are awesome. The Fighter's Mind and The Fighter's Heart. And I'm pretty sure it's The Fighter's Heart, where he trains with Andre Ward through a training camp with Virgil Hunter, Andre Ward's coach, talks about the training and everything. And then he's actually there in the locker room, the weigh-ins and everything for that fight. Well, that fight is where he fights Ben Aragon, and they gloss over Ben Aragon as he's like a journeyman boxer who had no business being in there with Andre Ward. That could have been
you.
So. But yeah, man. So I was a young pro, and Andre Ward was the guy that was winning the nationals in a division above me. It wasn't a smart fight to take.
Yeah.
But so I took some pro fights, and once I opened my gym, I took some more MMA fights, took a bunch of kickboxing matches. Mike Winklejohn cornered against me a couple different I think 3 different times. I fought guys out of Greg Jackson's gym.
Oh, wow.
Up in Colorado on Sven Bean shows.
So I've always wanted to ask you, because at your gym, you primarily do the boxing coaching.
Yeah.
Right now. Well, since I started.
Exception.
Yeah.
Because I run adult classes that are MMA classes.
Yeah.
So like.
I guess at the time.
Oh yeah.
I guess at the time that I've been there, I've seen you do more of the boxing, but I know you teach the MMA.
Yeah, I have middle-aged men and women that do really good at MMA.
Yeah.
And when I say MMA, we do drills that consist of jiu-jitsu, judo, Thai boxing. So it's not just boxing, but definitely my gym specializes in boxing because of my amateur boxing team and stuff.
Well, so what I wanted to get to was I've seen you do more of the coaching and boxing, but you and I have done a lot of jiu-jitsu, and I know you go out to Westside a lot and you've fallen in love with jiu-jitsu and you wanted to belt up. But then we talk about like your past, and you talk a lot about your kickboxing. So my question is going to be like, what is your favorite form? Like, what are you most passionate about?
Well, I started, like I said, doing Kung Fu. So, like, from the start, I've just been a martial artist. Like, to me, it's more about... to me, they're all the same. Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
They are. They're all the same, man. Like, I love kickboxing. I love being able to teach somebody who doesn't think they can kick to kick. Yeah. Because of just showing them the right body mechanics. Yeah. And like I love showing women how to punch hard because usually they don't think they can punch hard. Yeah. Every guy that comes in the gym thinks he can punch hard.
It's true. It's true.
So hard.
Yeah.
But women come in, they're like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into. This is crazy. And then when they hear that little snap and they feel it, you get to see the light in their eye. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the martial art aspect of it all. I think, I coach a lot of kids that get bullied. They're not tough, so it's just about improving their confidence.
Yeah, you do that. You do that a lot. You have a lot of like, don't you? You were working on some anti-bullying classes or whatever.
I run an anti-bullying program. And basically all I do is meet up with kids and talk about how we all got bullied and we all get bullied. It's something we got to deal with, and like it's not you. Mm-hmm. And if you kind of understand that, it makes it a little easier for these kids. Yeah. Because honestly, man, it's funny. The reason I started training was because my buddy punched me in the mouth and busted my lip open, and I was like, I'm not going to have that happen again. You know? I want to learn to fight so I could kick his butt.
Yeah. I lost these two teeth in elementary school because some kid was taking, I think it was Kung Fu, and roundhouse me. Dang. Knocked out. And I turned around into it. we were like, the bell was for recess, and everyone was going in, and I just turned around and got a roundhouse right to my teeth. He knocked my front two teeth out. So these two teeth are fake. Yeah. So that was my first introduction to actually getting kicked. I didn't fight him. He just threw a kick. He was just my buddy throwing a kick. He was actually scared of me after that. Like, I saw him the next day. He was like all nervous. I was like, no, it was an accident. But yeah, that was my first exposure to getting hit in the face. Was a roundhouse to the face. I didn't go down though. He just knocked out my teeth.
I went through this weird phase in elementary where there's this older kid named Richie Grant who used to pick me up, walk me to school. Yeah. And I swear for like one summer he made me fight other kids my age. Yeah.
He just picked you up and then said you're going to fight this kid?
Yeah, he'd be like, hey, fight this kid. And then I would, man.
Yeah.
It was weird.
No, I did like what you brought up, that we all were bullied. I mean, you talk about yourself. I mean, you were so young and you were, taking all these fights. So people probably thought, oh, he's been tough his whole life. And for me, I grew up playing football my entire life since I was 8 years old. I took karate from like I was 5 to I was 8. I took karate, and then I started playing football. And I was always playing. I was always on the field. When I was a seventh grader, I played on the in Utah. The junior high has their own teams, and so from 7th to 9th grade, I played on the football team, and I always played. So people thought, oh, he's an athlete. He never got, but I got picked on just like anyone else. Like, I had a bully that I was terrified to leave there was like the 7th grade locker hall, and I wouldn't leave that locker hall to go out into the school until it was time to go to class. So I'd show up to school and I'd just sit in the locker hall because he didn't hardly ever come down that locker hall. And so, being able to teach young kids to defend themselves and to have confidence and to believe that they can, take care of themselves is like, it's so huge, and it needs to be done more. I was pushing that we had a guest, her name was Mio Strong, and she does a lot with female self-defense, and I was pushing her to get those classes out there because it's so important. But just as important is teaching young kids, like, not to bully, and to protect other people from bullies, to stand up and say, don't do that.
And I gotta say, I think that the way that kids are training is so different now that it almost seems like 20 years ago, if you got your kid into karate for self-defense, it could almost backfire. Because they're going to learn all this mumble. They might spend 2 years in there learning forms and weapons and crap, and then still some kid comes and blasts them in the mouth.
Yeah.
And they still haven't ever been hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now the way they train, dude, it is not like that, man. If I train a kid for 6 months or a year, he's probably not getting whooped on by other kids that haven't trained, period.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
I mean, they get around kids, they get hit one time. The way I run it, young kids, man, they get hit in the nose.
Yeah.
And it hurts.
Yeah.
And it's more of a sensation than like a pain.
Yeah.
And it makes your eyes water. Sometimes the kid's not even crying, but their eyes are watering.
So then everyone's like, oh, you're crying.
Yeah. So it's a mind game, right? So when kids get popped in the nose and I see it, I take them right out of the ring, right? And I now talk to them. I'll be like, hey, man, look, how bad was it? Look, think about it. So next time you get popped in the nose, you can go move forward to this moment and know that it's okay.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, the kid gets popped in the nose and he's okay with it, And then when you have kids constantly in a fighting atmosphere and they're wrestling, like nowadays, man, I have kids that have been trained with me for so long that they're 7 and 8 years old, and I can just cut them loose in the cage.
Yeah.
With gloves on and let them do MMA sparring.
Yeah. Where
they're punching, kicking, grappling, choking, yada yada. And I don't even really have to supervise them. They're not going to get hurt. They will. Every once in a while, I'll look up there. They ran into a body shot or an accidental elbow or something, and one of them's crying. And 2 minutes later, they're doing it again.
Yeah, they can hop back up. Once you can get people to realize they're not made of glass, that you can take a hit, it hurts, and you're gonna, but you're gonna be okay.
And I think it just changes. It's not fair, to people who don't train.
Yeah. No,
you always see these YouTube videos of some college kids that are like yoked out and they're like pissed off, and then they fight and nothing lands. They look like they're gonna kill somebody, but it's just sporadic and nothing happens. They fall down and struggle, and then they tire out. And it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, you see some old dude get mugged by the 3 thugs, and he just bam.
Yeah.
It's because he barely hit him, man. He just knew how to hit him. It doesn't take strength. The old guy punched from the ground up.
Yeah.
So
he just has that clean technique, lands it right on the chin, right on the butt, and it's beautiful. I enjoy watching those videos. Some punk kid thinking he's tough, and then some old dude just drops him. And I always think about, thanks to my training, I think, I know how to throw a punch now. Kind of. That's still probably my weakest point, is throwing a punch. But because of my training, because of what I've learned, I think about it, man. It would take a lot for me to ever get into a street fight. Like I'm pretty mild mannered. I'm pretty even keeled. But if I ever did, man, I would not be standing up banging with them. I would shoot, take them down. I would shoot, take them down.
Street fight. The last street fight I got into was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was funny. It wasn't long after I got my ACL torn.
Yeah.
And because I remember, because I was a little worried about that. But the dude was a monster, yoked out. He was at a house party and was angry. And but I choked him out real quick.
Yeah.
And it was a testament to jiu-jitsu. And
absolutely.
It's because this guy was dangerous and big and angry.
Yeah.
And if you hit somebody like that, you you piss them off or you hurt them.
Yeah.
You know, and when I choked him out, like, he got up. First of all, when we started fighting, I got his back. I threw up the choke. We both fall on the ground, and freaking the party's like, it's freaking out. Then kind of gets quiet, and then people are like, let him go.
Yeah.
Then
You're killing him.
My wife gets down and whispers in my ear, she's like, Dave, he's out. You gotta let him go. I didn't believe that it was out because it just happened so quick. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways. I rolled him over to where now he's on his stomach, I'm on his back, and I like let go, and I come up, and he's like not moving.
Yeah.
So I get up, and my wife gets up and shoves me back, and then she's like, go outside. And then this dude that I know, he's like, Dave, go outside and get ready. And I'm like, what the heck? It was a Mardi Gras party, so I go outside and I take off my beads and stuff. I stand on the front lawn. The dude bleed. The dude comes out the side of the house.
Yeah.
And he left.
Oh yeah, he knows. Yeah.
And he wasn't angry or hurt, or you know, and it works. So
yeah. Well, it's because when you go out, you feel like you just took the best nap of your life. So he was probably not mad anymore. He was just relaxed. When I went out, I've gone out twice, and both times I woke up feeling like. I feel refreshed. I feel good. Like I could go another 5 rounds, but
I've heard that. I've never gone out.
Oh yeah, well,
never been gone
lucky you.
But I put out some people.
Yeah, they felt good. They felt good. I've never gone out to a choke. I went out to a Thomas Hughes kick to the chin.
Oh.
And then Ben Guyman uppercut when we were supposed to be going 50%. And he decided to throw a full speed uppercut.
Yeah, he told me you ran into it.
He said I ran into it? No. I ducked into Thomas's kick because he was going to throw a body shot, but I came forward and he got me on the chin. So that one I went into. Ben's, no, we were going 50%. He threw a full speed uppercut. Those are the 2 times I've gone out.
I'm trying to think. It's funny. I think Justin Roberts got knocked out at West Side. And I just went and grabbed him and drug him off the mat. And I was like, sorry, bro. Lucas got to keep working. Because Lucas is trying to get his rounds in.
Yeah.
He's in the way, knocked out. Oh, hey, I got a good story. Want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite gym stories to tell. So, and there's a few names. But
okay.
So, Cisco Alcantara, he's at the gym. I'm sparring him. And I hit him with a good shot. And I literally knocked about a cup or a cup and a half of snot out of his nose onto his shoulder. And he didn't know. And Cisco's stubborn. Like, when you hit him, he just comes forward.
Yeah.
So he was coming at me with the snot on his shoulder. And I'm like, Cisco, stop. I back up to the corner. I'm like, stop. And he's, what? And Justin goes, oh, dude, you need to go get cleaned up. And Cisco goes, what? He puts his glove on his shoulder, like wipe it off, and when he pulled it away, it was like hot glue, dude. It was just so John Neal, you know John Neal? What is he? Is he the 145 and 155 pound state champ?
Yes, yeah.
Was that the first ever? 145 pounds.
You tell me.
He's like the Conor McGregor of Utah.
Yeah, John Neal.
So John Neal sees this. And he gets sick. And he tries to run across the gym to the garbage to throw up and doesn't make it. Throws up all over the floor. So I hit the ground and I'm about to throw up myself.
Yeah.
I just saw the snot. But yet I can't believe the whole... Yeah, so it was almost a big vomit fest. And
I would have puked. I would have been able to puke.
There was a woman there. She told Cisco, you must have really deep sinus cavities. So much snot came out. And I swear it was like a week later. I don't know if he was sick or something. It's like a week later I was at West Side. I hit him again. And it was like a bunch came out. And then he went back in. It was like, it came out like 6 or 7 inches and then back in. And I stopped. Yeah. I said, no, Cisco. Not
you
again.
Gotta blow your nose.
Again,
you gotta blow your nose before we step into the ring. Before we do this, he's gotta handle that.
We used to have fun at sparring at West Side on Fridays. I'd call out everybody. I'd go over there because I could do. People who were training would do 5 minutes. But the people who had fights and stuff would do 5 minutes in a row. But then other people would take turns jumping in for a minute. So I could go in for like a minute.
And just tag them. Yeah.
Clown around. It was fun.
Well, brother, I mean, I need to thank you personally, you and Pat Reeves personally have changed my life with everything that you guys have done for me, and you guys have given me a love for jiu-jitsu, the two of you, and primarily you. I remember back when I was trying to take fights. You would take that extra time to like roll with me, and we'd have a lot of good sessions. And this is like when you were like, I'm really falling in love with jiu-jitsu right now. I'm starting to do it a lot. I'm going out to West Side all the time. You always invited me out there, and right now I have an absolute passion for jiu-jitsu, and it's because of you and Pat and the confidence you guys have given me in that. And because I do that, I'm able to help Dom. I'm able to help Eric. I'm able to help Gio. I'm able to help my teammates because of the love that you guys you instilled in me in this sport. So personally, I want to thank you for taking the time out to just do that with me. And
it's my pleasure. It's contagious, man. I mean, jiu-jitsu. The thing is, and I started doing jiu-jitsu in '99, but I had a lot of focuses as far as boxing, kickboxing, and MMA. I didn't wear a gi, and I was always working on getting up. So anyways, like a couple years back, I started going back to West Side, and I want to get my black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
I want to. I want to be just that level of grappling with or without the belt.
Yeah.
But I also want, I really enjoy doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in a gi, man.
Yeah.
And I've just been I want the belt.
Yeah. I've been coming up to Unified on Fridays, Unified Jiu-Jitsu, which is Pedro Sao.
I know some of the guys.
Yeah, they all know your name. When I came up, they said, "Where do you train?" I said, "Foley's," and they all knew you. I can't think of any of their names right now, but they all knew you and really liked you. And that was it. You and Pat Reeves have, because of who you guys are. Whenever I go anywhere and drop your guys' names, the door's open. You guys have never burnt bridges. I mean, Pat would fire off on people, but yet. People loved him, but they all loved him. And
man, there's a difference because Pat was welcome at any gym.
Exactly. And it's the same for you. Anytime I go and drop your names, the doors are open. But I've been going and doing gi jiu-jitsu up there, and it's the first time I'd ever done it in my life, and I've fallen in love with it. It's so fun. I love it. And so, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for that, and thank you for being a legend and being a pioneer in the sport that has allowed me to have freedoms just by saying your name. Where do you train at? Foley's. Oh, we love Dave. He's such a good guy.
Good,
yeah, man.
I honestly can't believe that. I walk in the gym day after day and just shake my head because I can't believe that it's mine. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an animal bigger than itself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's turned into something. It's just I could never in a million years have imagined.
And everybody, I feel like everybody who walks through that door, who keeps coming back, his life has changed for the better.
Oh yeah, that's another thing about it. It sounds cliche, but I just love doing martial arts, so I did it because I like talking to people. You know what I'm saying? I like interacting and socializing and stuff, and so I have a dream job, but it is cliche to say that it saves people's lives and stuff, but and it's hard for me to say because it's not. It's just the gyms themselves, man.
Yeah.
Any gym. I was at Westside, and a guy that I didn't even know was really dealing with anything. Turns out he's a return vet, and he has some problem. And he basically told us all, he's like, "Hey, you guys don't know, but you've really kind of saved my ass." And I was like, "Whoa, damn," because I didn't even know. With him, I don't really I grapple with the dude on a regular basis, and we're friends, but I don't really know him on the outside of the gym.
Yeah.
Whereas at my own gym is kind of my job. So yeah, man. The gyms they really do offer an outlet for people.
They really do. They really do. And yours in particular. I mean, I've shared my story quite a few times of me how I even walked into your gym and it absolutely saved my life and changed my life and it built what I have right now, and it built this podcast, and built, me being able to even come out here to Athletic Republic, and everything that I've done. It all really started with Foley's MMA. So thank you for that. We have a fun part of the show that we do where I ask three random questions. Try to just, I usually come up with a good one at the end, and for you, it's a special one. I don't know where I'm going to go with this, so I might just take one of them off. We'll go. I'll take one of them off, and I'll give you two of mine. So the first one is, I got to announce it. It's a triple threat throwdown. I'll set up on there, Nick. So okay. So what's your guilty pleasure movie? One that you really don't want to admit that you like it, but you got to.
Okay. Legally Blonde.
I shouldn't take a drink of water right before that. Legally, I've never seen it.
No way.
I've never seen it.
Oh man.
I feel like I should now, but I've never seen it.
Have you ever heard the quote? Exercise releases endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people don't kill their husbands.
No, I've never heard that. But
I should have. Did I really just say that?
Yeah. Okay. Legally Blonde. All right. I don't know if I'll ever watch it now, but I wasn't expecting
my guilty
pleasure. Okay. Yeah. No. It's fine. My guilty pleasure. Pitch Perfect is my guilty pleasure movie.
Yeah.
The first one. I'll watch that anytime it's on. Actually, I have.
Is that the one with the cups?
Yes.
Like
yeah. That one. There's actually another one called Stick It. Okay. That's about female gymnasts.
Oh yeah.
I watch it all the time. I love that. So
right.
So the second one is one specifically for you. Who is going to be sitting on the throne at the end of Game of Thrones?
I love it. Oh.
Who's sitting on the throne?
Jon Snow and Daenerys.
Together?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
It could happen.
Honestly, do you know what I really think is going to happen? I think Daenerys is kind of going to be like, they're going to think of her as like the queen and the head to sit on the throne, but she's a conqueror. So I think she's going to be like, Jon, like I need to go out and continue to conquer the world. This is what I do. So she's going to leave it to Jon, and Jon's going to be sitting on the throne. Like she's going to pass it down to him, and he's going to actually sit on the throne, and she's going to go out and conquer the world. But they're still going to be like romantically.
Yeah, but that's probably not going to happen because
I don't think it's going to happen in a TV show. I think it's going to happen in the books.
Well, from what I was told, George Martin gave them like, this is how it's going to end. This is the kind of final conclusion.
Yeah.
And how you get there is up to you guys from here on out.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like somebody like Jon Snow and Daenerys are both going to get whacked or something by the ice dragon. Something terrible, right?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Don't tell me.
See,
that.
I read
Don't
the books.
Tell me
I read
that.
the
Don't.
books before we're caught up now, so like I was waiting for Ned to get his freaking head cut off. I was waiting for the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing was when the giant was fighting the Red Viper.
Oh yeah.
I mean the
mountain.
The mountain.
Yeah.
Oh. And, I mean that fight scene is just legit in the books, and then people were upset. So he's gonna kind of got to stick with that, right?
Yeah. But I don't know. I couldn't take it if either one of them died. I couldn't take it. I couldn't. Yeah. There was like when I was in Lost, when Charlie died, I almost stopped watching the series. I get invested into these ones. There's very few that I get invested to. Lost and Game of Thrones. And there's a couple other, but I've never been as invested as I am in the Game of Thrones. Okay, so the next question.
Okay.
Again. What is, and because I turned you on to this, what is your favorite Stephen King book now that you've read?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's hard, man. Well, I mean, I would say my favorite one is the In the Dark Tower series, and it's the one where they're young kids and they go back.
That's it. Yeah. That's my favorite too. I think that one is.
Is it the Wizard and the
Wizard and the
Glass?
Glass. Yeah. Wizard. Is it?
I think it is, but
It's
it
not
might
Wolves
be
of
the
Kala.
song
Is it Wolves of
Susanna.
Kala?
No,
It's not Songs of Susanna.
It's not Wolves of Kala.
It's not Wolves of Kala. Okay, then it probably is Wizard of Glass.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good.
Dude, I love Stephen King, man.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
for hooking me up with that.
Well, you changed my life. You changed my life. So that's all I can give back to you is introduce you to the Dark Tower series.
Yeah, oh man. It's
so amazing.
This is gonna sound kind of weird, but I'm almost embarrassed to love Stephen King as much as I do.
Why?
Because I'm 40. I never read him growing up. My whole life.
Yeah.
My whole life I never really read any of his stuff.
Yeah.
And like my sister loves him, and all these people love him, but I don't know why. I kind of, in the back of my mind, I think I brushed him off as not like, and he is great, man. He's so amazing.
You got this whole new lease on life now.
Yeah.
You got this whole new lease on life now with books, and you have been. I mean, every time I go every time I walk into your office, you're like, oh, you read this book? I'm reading this one. You're going. I went Dark Tower series, and then I started to read Hearts of Atlantis, and then I just kind of stopped because I'm so busy. I can't read as much as I want. But when I do, it will be Stephen King. It's always going to be Stephen King. I didn't start till I was 30. I started reading the Dark Tower series when I was 30, and it was amazing. And it's all when I turned you on to it and I got you to read it, and then you told me how pumped you were on it. Dude, I could have been more happy. So again, you changed my life. I'm glad I was able to give you something in yours. But Dave, brother, this was awesome. Thanks for coming out today. Everybody, honestly, go out to Foley's. Do some martial arts. Fall in love with it. Just go out there. I can't say that enough. It is one of the things that made me who I am today, and I kind of like who I am. So it's a big part of it was due to you, and thank you to your gym. Everybody, be good to yourself. Be good to each other. I love you. All right, that's all we have for you. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to check out us on all our forms of social media. Don't forget to like and subscribe, to check out all other videos, and to go check out the website.